The clock in my car showed midnight as I drove into our driveway. Christmas Eve was here, but I felt no holiday cheer after a tough day at work. I'd dealt with 3 heart stops and 5 crash victims at the hospital. My shoulders hurt from a 14-hour shift in the emergency room, my work clothes heavy with sad stories from others. I grabbed my key, ready for a dark house. David was out on a work trip until morning, and Lily had messaged about going to my folks for their yearly Christmas Eve meal. Thinking of my 16-year-old girl with family made my long day a bit better. But when I opened the door, warm light filled the living room. I stopped breathing for a second. Lily was snuggled on the couch, still in her winter jacket, her face half hidden under her wavy black hair. Her breathing was light, like she was having bad dreams. On the table was a plate of food she hadn't touched, and a box of her special sugar treats, the ones she'd baked all day yesterday for her grandparents. "Lily?" I said softly, kneeling next to her. Her eyes opened slowly. For a moment, I saw real hurt in her face before she tried to smile, but it didn't light up her eyes. "Hey, Mom." Her voice broke a little. "You're back sooner than I thought. What went wrong, kiddo?" I moved her hair away, seeing the rumpled outfit under her jacket, the one she'd picked out for weeks, showing it to me 4 times to check if it was good enough for Grandma's nice meal. The outfit was all creased now, showing she'd been curled up sad on the couch for hours. As she sat up, the light showed dried tear marks on her face. "Nothing's wrong," she said, trying to act cool but not pulling it off. "I just didn't hang out long." "Lily." I held her hands. They felt chilly. "Tell me, please." She looked at our hands together. "Grandma said there was no spot at the table." My heart skipped. "What? Lots of folks were there." Her voice got quieter. "Neighbors, Dad's relatives, even Grandma's card game buddies." I could picture it so clearly, and it hurt. My girl, driving her new car, she'd only had it 3 months, to her grandparents' place, proud with gifts and her baked treats, hoping for a warm family welcome. I got there around 6. Lily kept going, words spilling out. "I parked where Uncle Tom always does, you know, and I fixed my hair in the mirror tons of times." I nodded, my throat feeling tight. Grandma opened the door with that smile. "You know it." Lily's fingers moved in mine, and she said, "Oh, we thought you'd come when your mom gets here." That cold feeling hit my chest, the one I always get with my mom. Margaret Wilson, expert at turning no into something that sounds practical. "I saw everyone eating," Lily said. "They had the table extra big, like for Thanksgiving. 26 people, Mom," I counted. There was Aunt Susan and Uncle Tom and all their kids. There was Mrs. Parker from next door and Mr. and Mrs. Lane from the card group. I shut my eyes, guessing how it ended. Grandma said no chair for me. Lily's voice broke a bit. She said they didn't set a spot because they figured I'd come with you later. She said the extra room was full of coats, but I could sit in the kitchen if I wanted. My hands shook. Aunt Susan acted super into the veggies, Lily swallowed. So I left the gifts and treats and said I'd see them tomorrow. You drove back in the rain. It wasn't a question. I'd come through the same storm. Lily nodded. It wasn't too bad, but it was bad, in ways a 16-year-old shouldn't know yet. That heavy family duty feeling pushed on me, the one I'd carried since I was little. I'd spent 8 years paying the house loan and bills for the place my parents lived in, the one I'd bought when Dad lost his job and they almost lost their home. 8 years of checks with complaints about how I'd left the family for my nursing school. My dad's words rang in my head. "You think you're too good with your school stuff." My sister Susan's usual line. Nice to ditch family for learning. Every get-together had mean jokes. Every holiday felt heavy with hidden anger. For years I'd kept peace, fixing fights, making excuses, sending money. I'd put up with it because that's family. Leaving seemed meaner than staying, but as I helped Lily stand, as I took off the jacket she'd worn for hours in our cozy house, something changed in me. They didn't run out of chairs, Mom. Lily's voice was small but firm. They just didn't want me. My hands stopped shaking. I got my girl to bed, my voice calm even with the storm inside. I tucked her in like when she was small. though her tall body hardly fit under the blanket my grandma made. I watched her eyes get heavy from the night's feelings. "Never again, kiddo," I whispered as she fell asleep. Never again. Later, I heard the front door open and shut softly. David's steps crossed the room, then his bag thumped down. "Anna?" he called quietly. I met him in the hall, the uneaten food and closed treat box on the table telling a story I wasn't ready to share. When I told him what happened, shock changed his face. "They sent her away?" His voice showed he couldn't believe it. From someone with a normal family who didn't get this kind of mean. I nodded. Something clear and cold forming in me. My mom's bossy ways, my dad's weak giving in, my sister's jealous help. In our quiet house, with Lily sleeping nearby, I decided without saying it, the choice every parent faces. When caring for others must give way to guarding your kid. Some folks don't get more chances. Some tables aren't worth sitting at, and some chairs are best left empty. The next morning, brown folders spread over our kitchen table, showing 8 years of money help. David stood behind me, his hand steady on my shoulder as I looked at the tidy numbers in my money book. $300, I whispered, turning pages of the same amounts. "Every month for 8 years. That's over $100,000, Anna." David's voice had no blame, just facts from a guy who deals with numbers. I'd woken before sunup on Christmas Day. My body still on work time, even on my day off. While Lily and David slept, I went to my homework room and opened the bottom drawer of my file box. The papers I'd kept just because now lay like proof of a wrong. "Look at this." I pushed a house tax paper to David. "The house is only in my name. I'm not just helping with payments. There are no payments. I bought that house fully." David nodded, his face tight as he read. "And these payments? Bills for power, taxes, safety coverage, fixes." Each word felt like a rock dropping deep. "I've paid it all, for years." The kitchen light made dark shadows on the growing paper pile. Bank papers showed money sent to my sister Susan for her kids' special school fees. Card bills showed gifts for nieces and nephews. Computers, game stuff, fancy clothes, while Lily learned to ask for little. "Remember last Christmas?" I pulled a card statement. "I got Susan's girl Emma that $1,000 computer for her coding lessons. Lily wanted art stuff, just paints and good paper." David's finger followed a note I'd written on the edge. Margaret said Lily's ask was finally okay. Under that, another folder had birthday cards from 5 years. Each from my parents had a $20 bill for Lily. Each for Susan's kids had big checks. "I should have noticed sooner," I whispered. The sun got brighter, lighting a small book I'd found hidden in Lily's bed last month while changing sheets. I hadn't read it then, to respect her space. Now, with her okay from a sleepy morning talk, I opened to the marked pages. Grandma told all my art prize wasn't real because my school gives them to everyone. It was the area show winner, only one kid from each school. Oh. Cousin Emma's dance show today. Everyone went. Grandma said no space in the car for me. Learned later they used 2 cars. Christmas at grandparents again. All cousins got smartwatches. I got socks. Mom looked sad but said nothing. I don't want to make it worse for her. The last note from 2 months ago. Haven't told Mom about Thanksgiving meal. She works hard. No need to make her sad when she can't fix Grandma. My hands shook as I shut the book. She's been keeping me safe. While you've kept them safe, David said, voice tight. You've paid for your girl's hurt. The kitchen went quiet, but for the fridge hum. Outside, a neighbor kid yelled with Christmas joy. Inside, the only gift opening was the hard truth of years of being used. This isn't about one meal, I said at last, clear thinking replacing my old confusion. It's about Lily's value. David pulled a chair by me, carefully stacking the papers. You've been their helper for years, he said softly. They've been Lily's bad dream. The doorbell rang, surprising us. I checked the clock, 10:30 a.m. Emily Thompson stood on our porch, a bubbly drink bottle in one hand and a covered dish in the other. Merry Christmas, she called as I opened. I brought breakfast food, hope that's fine. Emily, my lawyer pal who'd helped buy my parents' house years back, saw my face and set her stuff down. What's up? An hour later, Emily sat at our table. Notepad full, drink forgotten. It's simple, she said, tapping her pen on the tax papers. The house is yours. They're like renters with no paper deal. We can send a 60-day leave notice, isn't that mean? The words came out, old guilt popping up one last time. Emily's eyes got sharp. Is it mean to stop being used? Is it mean to guard your girl? Another buzz. My phone had a message from Rachel, a work nurse who'd skipped her Christmas to take my shift. How's your day? Better than the hospital, I hope. I messaged back a quick bit about the morning finds. Her reply came fast. My mom did the same to my boy. Call if you need chat from someone who's done it. David's hand held mine on the table. I'll back what you pick. I need to talk to Lily first, I said. We found her in her room, drawing by the window, morning light in her dark hair. The holiday tree lights shone in her window, making colorful shadows on her art. Mom. She looked up, feeling our serious vibe. What's up? I sat by her on the bed, picking words with care. We're not going to your grandparents for New Year's. Something flashed in her eyes. Relief, wonder, then careful hope. For real? For real. And there will be other changes too. I told her softly about the house, the money help, the choice growing in my mind. With each bit, her body relaxed a little, like a load lifting. Emily's downstairs. I ended. She's helping with some letters. Lily nodded slow. Are you sure? They're your folks. The easy question had deep care, not for her, but me. Even now, she thinks of my feelings, my ties. I'm sure, I said, the choice getting stronger each second. This isn't just about one meal, it's about you, about us. Later that night, after Emily left promising to bring real papers, after Rachel called with kind words and knowing, after David got takeout food because no one wanted to cook, I sat at the kitchen table again. The leave notice lay there, its official words hiding the heavy feelings. 60-day notice to leave the place. Next to it, a letter stopping money help, starting now. My hand didn't shake as I signed both. David watched from the door. You good? No, I said true, but I will be. The load of years letting bad stuff happen pushed on me as I sealed the envelopes. Tomorrow, these go out. Tomorrow, all changes. I went up the stairs slow, tired from the day's feelings in my body. I stopped at Lily's door, seeing her awake, looking at her phone. All set? She asked. I nodded. All set. She put down her phone, looking at my face. Then, slow, her mouth made a real smile, the first in days. Mom, she said soft, I've never seen you fight back against them. In that second, in my girl's quiet okay, I found power to face what came next. 3 days later, the leave notice lay ripped in half on my porch, Margaret standing over it with red cheeks. Even in the cold winter, sweat showed on her hair, her finger pointing at me like a knife. This is how you pay back all we've done? She waved the torn paper. After all our giving up? I leaned on the door, surprised by the peace in my chest. The old Anna would have hurried to fix it, would have felt the usual guilt twist. But Anna had seen her girl come home alone on Christmas Eve. You'll need to leave in 60 days, as the law says. My voice stayed calm. Since you tore the notice, I'll have my lawyer send a safe copy. Margaret's mouth opened, then shut. This wasn't going her way. Emma's robot camp is next month. She changed ways, voice softer. $800. If you just pay that, we can drop this silly stuff. My sister Susan's girl, the favorite grandkid who always had attention and seats at meals. No, one word, so easy. But it took 42 years to say. Margaret's fake face fell. You were always selfish, putting you over family. Goodbye, Mom. I shut the door on her mad words. Inside, I leaned on the wall, waiting for guilt that didn't come. Instead, I grabbed my phone and called Emily Thompson, my lawyer. We need another leave notice, safe this time. The voice messages started that night. Dad's voice had none of Margaret's anger, just a tired letdown that hit guilt better than Mom's mad. Anna, you're breaking this family over zero. Your mom is so upset. Call so we can mend it. 0. Lily's being left out was 0. 8 years of money help was 0. I erased the message. By morning, my phone buzzed with more family. Uncle Richard asking what this crazy talk was about kicking out my parents. Aunt Mary, thinking if I was losing it. Cousin Amy, saying I should talk to my church leader about respecting parents. Then Susan's online post, shared by 17 family before noon. Prayers for my old parents facing no home because my sister ditched family duties. Some forget who helped them when needed. The bank guy looked uneasy as I sat across, asking to stop auto pays to my parents' stuff. These have run for 8 years? He asked, checking his screen. Yes, house pay, power, taxes, and monthly cash. I put my ID on the desk. All stops today. His fingers clicked keys. And you're sure? Totally. I looked at him. I'd like printed lists of all pays so far. He nodded, glad I wasn't upset. Folks expect women to cry over big money changes. They expect doubt and changing mind. They don't expect the peace from total clear thinking. At home that night, I made a file on my computer, proof stuff. Inside went scanned bank papers, house docs showing my name only, and shots of Susan's posts. I started a new file called Talk Timeline. Every call, message, and voice note would go in. Their sad didn't stop them hurting Lily. The idea came clear as I typed. Why should my sad stop me guarding her? David found me in the workroom. Printouts all over the desk. Safety cameras came, he said, putting a box down. I'll put them up tomorrow. I nodded, adding a note about Margaret's visit. Your mom called my phone. Said I need to handle my wife. His laugh had no fun. I told her I've never handled you and I'm not starting. Said thanks. I took his hand. Anna, his voice got soft. Are you sure? I've never been sure. I squeezed. They had 26 at that table, David, 26 people. And no spot for Lily. 26 people. And no spot for Lily. 3 days later, Margaret surprised me outside work. My late shift ended at 7 a.m., and I was going to my car when her voice cut the fresh air. After all we've done. She blocked my way. Robert next to her looking bad under the bright garage lights. 2 nurses from my team slowed, watching worried. I nodded to them. I'm fine. What you've done to Lily can't be forgiven, I said, keeping my voice even. 1 meal. Margaret threw her hands. This is about 1 meal? You're putting your parents out because your girl didn't get extra special? Extra special? The words slipped out. She's my kid. Your grandkid. She drove to a family meal and got told no space. We thought she'd come with you. There were 26 at that table. My voice stayed calm. Neighbors, card group, everyone but Lily. Margaret stepped near. I always put family first. I gave up everything. The house is mine. The pays stop. Lily deserves more. I walked past to my car. Any more talk goes through my lawyer. You ungrateful. Margaret's voice got loud, bouncing in the garage. One nurse turned, seeing Margaret's fake drop fully. She's paid your house for 8 years. The nurse yelled, surprising me. Rachel, who'd heard my family tales on breaks more than fair. This is private. Margaret snapped. Not when you bother my work friend here. Rachel crossed her arms. Later that week, Pastor James called. Your mom talked at prayer meet, he said careful. She put on a show. I bet she did. I wanted you to know I talked alone with some who heard her side. His voice kind but strong. I told them family stuff is rarely simple from one view. Thanks. My throat got lumpy sudden. Boundaries aren't against faith, Anna, nor is keeping your kids safe. The next day, Lily's mind helper said what I thought. This leaving out pattern is on purpose, Dr. Summers said. It's not by chance, and it's hitting Lily's feeling of fitting in and her own value hard. I nodded, adding her words to my proof pile. Day 35 brought the big shift. The paper server gave the safe leave notice. Not to my parents' place, but to the family Sunday meal I knew they'd be at Susan's, a planned choice I didn't regret. Within hours, my phone rang from Cousin Martha. They're in your house? All this time? Her voice shocked. Margaret said you helped a few bills because Robert was so giving with your school money. And ever go on? Dad lost work. They almost lost the house. I bought it and let them stay. Good grief. Martha's voice low. And you've paid everything? House pay, power. For 8 years. Quiet hung between us. Martha. They told Lily no space at the table on Christmas Eve. People, with neighbors and card group. But no space for my girl. Martha's voice got hard. That sounds like Margaret. The wall broke. Within days, the story Margaret built started falling. Far family help faded as money truths came out. Uncle Richard stopped calling. Aunt Mary worried now about Margaret's tricks. I kept building my proof wall. Lily's left-out list was 5 pages. Birthday fun where she was the only grandkid not asked. Family trips with no car space. Holiday meets where her gifts were way smaller or none. Emily, my lawyer, checked the big file with work cool. Let them pick, she said. We note what happens. On day 45 of the 60-day notice, I was looking at tax papers when my phone buzzed from Susan. I hadn't heard from my sister straight since the notice went to her Sunday meal. We need to chat alone. I looked at the screen, seeing real feel in those words. My finger waited over reply. Are you still sure, Mom? Lily stood in the door, eyes worried. I looked at my girl, stronger now. Sleeping full nights, laughing back. The duty load felt lighter each day without their okay. Some bridges can't be fixed, I said soft, and some shouldn't. The coffee place was busy with morning folks, their talks making a noise shield. I got there 20 minutes early, picking a corner spot, seeing both doors. David would stay in the car, near to help if needed, far to let me deal. I put my phone on the table, recording app on under a cute screen of Lily's school pics. The brown folder by it had some money papers, just enough to show without all. Emily's tip rang in my head as I practiced answers. When Susan tries guilt, say her feels without taking blame. When she makes Lily's left out small, point to real facts. I sat tall as Susan came in, her fancy bag swinging. The old knot in my belly. The autofeel to family fights that ruled me for years. I won't let guilt take Boundary's place again, I whispered as she came. You look worn out, Susan said hello, sitting across. Her judge look wasn't wrong. All these days holding strong against family push had worn me. How are you, Susan? I kept voice even, seeing her eye the folder. This family mess is breaking Mom's heart, she said, stirring coffee hard. We gotta stay together, Anna. That's family. I waited, letting quiet work. They don't think you'll really evict, Susan went on, voice low. Mom says you'll smarten up before time. Have they packed? I asked, knowing no. Susan's eyes dropped to her cup. It's tough at their age. They've been there 8 years. In a house I paid for, I reminded soft. They've had 45 days to plan. Where will they live? Her voice rose, the guilt trick. Dad's body aches worse, and Mom can't do stairs. I sipped water slow, letting it calm me. Their home isn't my job now. Lily can have a seat next time, Susan said quick, leaning in. If you stop this crazy, we'll include her, I promise. The line I'd ready went away as mad heat hit me. I pulled a page from the folder and slid it over. This is a list of every time Lily was left out from family stuff in 3 years, I said quiet. Different times, Susan. Birthdays, holidays, weekend cooks. Thanks for watching. She looked at the paper without touch. Did you ever stick up for her? I asked. The question stayed. Susan's quiet hurt more than any sorry. The eviction stays, I said, voice steadier than thought. The money stops. You can't just... Their problem isn't my emergency, I cut in. The words from my talk with Pastor James last week. Not anymore. Susan's face got red. So that's it? 30 years of family cut because Lily's feelings got hurt at Christmas? I shut the folder without biting her hook, leaving coffee as I stood. Lily is my family. I pick her. I am Lily. The 15-minute ride home was quiet, David's hand squeezing mine at stops. You did right, he said as we got home. The easy yes nearly broke me after years doubting every choice, Emily called. He added. She said they haven't fought the eviction. Law-wise, they can't now. I nodded, shoulder tight easing. Pastor James left a message too. He's offered to find them new living. Without you paying, David said clear, his guard showing. Without me paying, I agreed. Rachel from work promised to stop by tonight. Another surprise friend who came when I shared my family mess. You're not alone, she'd said, telling her tale of lines with bad kin. Lily's room door was open as we passed. Her Mind Helper's artwork spread on her desk. The bright family tree she made showed only good branches. David and me at the base. Friends and nice kin growing up. The empty parts for Margaret, Robert, and Susan left bare on purpose. The first breaks in family together came 3 days later, when Margaret called to offer part rent if the eviction could wait forever. I'm not your house owner, I said calm. I'm selling the place, and Robert called alone that night. First admit of wrong in his shaky words. We might have been too rough on the kid, he said, like making years small might weaken my stand. Through David's cousin, who still talked to Susan's hubby, we heard they fought about Margaret and Robert moving in, something neither liked. When Margaret's rent asks got turned down for bad money score, her fear showed in more wild calls I let ring. The family that seemed so strong was breaking under coming no home. I was checking work times in our home room when the doorbell rang sudden. Through the safety camera David put up, I saw Susan alone on our porch, back bent in the spring rain. I'll deal, I told David, who waited ready in the hall. Susan's eye makeup smeared, her usual perfect look showing stress. We need help with rent start money, she said right away when I opened. Just a loan, Anna. They'll pay back. The ask might have worked 2 months back, hitting my helper's side and opening my money without ask. You saw them turn Lily away, I said instead, voice quiet but strong. You sat at that table and said 0. Something changed in Susan's face. First sea of results beyond bother. I didn't think you'd really do it, she whispered. That was your pick, I said. No win feel at her upset. This is mine. This. She left quiet, her last try at control failing against my line. From her upstairs window, Lily watched her aunt go. I found her there soon, her look thinking not winning. You okay, Mom? She asked, taking my hand. In that time, I saw our real fix, that my girl now cared for my good as I did hers. The no made my stand stronger even as it warmed my heart. I'm better than okay, I told her. And for the first time in months, it was true. Day 58 came like a clock ticking sure. I stood at my living room window, watching 6 cars come into our driveway one by one. The family meet my mom planned happened like a team move, just as I guessed. They're all here. I called to David, who helped Lily with her math work at the kitchen table. David looked up, face calm but set. Right on time, I fixed my sweater, calming the small shake in my fingers. 2 days before eviction end, Margaret used her last tool, the big family. The doorbell rang. I opened to my mom, with a half circle of kin, Aunt Laura, Uncle Henry, cousins Brenda and Patrick, and my dad's brother Frank with wife Dorothy. Margaret's eyes already shiny with practiced tears. We need family talk, she said, pushing in without weight. They came in, faces with same worry masks. David and Lily joined me in the living room, as our surprise guests sat on our stuff like judges. Anna. My dad started, voice like a ready talk. The good book says honor your dad and mom. Have you forgot that rule? I looked at him steady. 8 years of pays bought me this time. We're not judging, Aunt Laura added, though her voice said yes. But your folks are in their 70s. Do you want them gone on streets because of some mix-up? Margaret wiped her eyes with tissue. I never meant hurt, she whispered. There must be confusion about Christmas Eve. Lily moved uneasy next to me on the couch. I felt her stiffen when Margaret looked at her. Think of Lily's name and family, Margaret said soft, voice with hidden warn. She'll be known as why her grandparents lost home. Is that what you want? I put my hand over Lily's, her fingers cold, the push building since the notice. Pastor James called 3 times, pushing faith makeup. Church folks called with hidden worries. Yesterday, my boss said my family mess made work tense after Margaret called the hospital crying. A no-name letter came in our mail, hinting old folks mistreat check possible. The big family hinted money using since my name on papers, but forcing old kin out. Even David got hit. Frank cornered him at the tool store, asking sharp about handling his wife's choices. Maybe let them stay till they find a spot, Lily whispered when family talked in groups, just till they have a plan. My heart turned. After all, Lily's kind heart stayed. It was her best and what Margaret used for years. 1 more month, I thought, just to ease it. David saw my eyes across the room. His small head reminded our late talk when I almost gave in 2 weeks back. This way doesn't end with extra time, he'd said. It's not 1 month. It's our whole lives. Later that night, after guests left with praise for our hearts, I sat with Lily on her bed. Is it mean to make them go? She asked, twisting her blanket. I picked words careful. There's difference between lines and mean. Lines keep us from hurt. Mean wants to cause pain, but they'll have no place. They've had 60 days to find. They have saved money, checks, and your Aunt Susan's house has 3 empty rooms. I took Lily's hands. They're betting on you giving up. That's why they said your name. They know you're nice is their top tool against us. Knowing showed in Lily's eyes. Like Christmas Eve, when Grandma said no room, there were empty chairs at table end. Just like that. The last day came with odd peace. David, Lily, and I sat in the living room as cameras showed Margaret and Robert drive in their old car, followed by a rent truck. No Susan. She'd stopped talking to our parents after they tried her home last week. I'd ready for all. Emily, my lawyer, stood quiet in kitchen, checking last papers. A paper server waited in his car nearby if Margaret wouldn't sign release. The house boss I'd hired was checking the place, noting condition for law, the doorbell at noon exact. Margaret's face got hard seeing my board. After all we've done, she hissed. I felt Lily stiffen by me, but her voice calm. Want water before loading? It's warm, Margaret ignored. This is your last shot to be fair, Anna. I gave her the release forms. I'm not doing this to you, I said even. I'm doing for Lily. Something changed in my dad's face. A quick no I'd never seen. We should have been nicer to the kid, he said quiet. Not to me, but Margaret. We shouldn't have made her wait in kitchen that night. It was nearest to real sorry from him. Margaret grabbed the papers, signing mad before pushing the board back. You'll be sorry when we're gone, she said, voice shaking with mad, not tears this time. I took the keys she held. I already sorry the years I let you hurt my girl. The loading took under 2 hours. Margaret and Robert had little stuff in 8 years in my house. Most furniture was the place's, bought by me when they moved with nothing. David helped carry heavy. Despite Margaret's cold quiet, Lily wrapped breakable pics in paper without ask. I stood indoor, watching family ways break with each box. Their new spot on rent paper, a small one-room in a bad paint building across town. When I drove by yesterday, a leave notice on door of Unit 3C. They'd found new owners to trick. The big family from the meet were gone today. Real hit through Margaret's tricks. 8 years money ending, 60 days Warren ignored. The results now can't be skipped. No big fights, no yells. Just quiet end of shutting doors and signed papers. I stood indoor with Lily and David as the truck left, followed by parents' car. Margaret didn't look. Robert raised hand in quick, unsure wave. When they turned corner, I shut door soft, the sound of one part ending. The next morning, Lily found me in kitchen, worry on her face. There's a sale sign outside, she said. Are we moving cause of them? I hugged her. We're going ahead, not running. My phone buzzed, blocked number with voice. Margaret, likely, last try for control. I held finger over erase, thinking, some words don't need hearing, I said, hitting erase before it pulled me. The message gone, with last of my guilt. The morning sun comes through our big windows, making gold shapes on the eating table where school papers spread like a paper yard. Lily's fingers follow the raised mark of her best pick while David fills our coffee. 2 years changed our lives fully. State College has that nature study class I mentioned, Lily says, fixing her hair. The dark under her eyes gone, now quiet sure that warms my heart. I look at pics on our hall wall. Lily at her science win, her walk trip with pals, her happy face getting her okay letter. Each pic shows rebuilding her spirit, bit by bit, smile by smile. Whatever you pick. We got you, David says, his hand finding mine under table. Our new home feels light. Pals stop by sudden. Work friends stay for quick meals. And kin who backed us use guest rooms on holidays. There's calm here earned and easy, like we found our right spot after years hard to breathe. The doorbell rings. That's Rachel and her guy, I say, going to open. And I bet muffins with berries. Lily calls, going to kitchen for more coffee. By night, our eating table full out. Chairs from neighbors for all at Christmas Eve meal. Lily moves sure between kitchen and room, carrying dishes easy. No sign of the girl who slept in jacket, waiting for me to fix her hurt. We need more glasses for water, she says, going back to kitchen. I stop, spoon over potatoes. hit by same as that Christmas Eve 2 years back. Same holiday. Same food ready, but all different. My mom's words echo soft from past. No room at table. Looking around, I see every chair with folks who want to be. No fake nice. No mean jokes as fun. No active family without real, just true ties. No empty chairs at our table, I whisper. David sees my eyes across and winks, getting it without words. The laughs around us sound real, not forced like at parents' place. It comes natural, no plan or sharp. Later, after plates gone and sweet served, Rachel pulls me aside in kitchen. The young nurse like me 10 years back. Too much work, wanting to please, sunken family wants. My brother in my extra room 8 months. She tells quiet. No job hunt, complains all I do, and parents say I'm selfish wanting space. I clean berry stuff from bowl, thinking her words. Your calm matters too, I say soft. Sometimes nicest is a line. Lily comes indoor, hearing end of talk. Mom taught me something key. She adds, next to me at sink, letting someone use you isn't helping. It teaches using works. Rachel's eyes get teary thanks. But how do you set the line? Start by believing you earn it, I say, no doubt in voice. My phone buzzes in pocket, blocked number. I take it. See first words of message. Hope you're proud of what you've done. Without more read, I erase. No worry rush, no biting guilt, just calm push away of another's control. Try. Lily runs back to kitchen, holding envelope. Mom, it came early, my okay letter. I hug her, feeling the strong young lady she's now. Her tough humbles me every day. Her joy, after all, amazes me. The next morning, Lily packs bag for her school visit days. The unsure girl from 2 years gone, now one who looks ahead, not back. I slip a pic and frame into her bag when she goes to bath. Our picked family around last thanks table, faces bright with real tie. Remember who really loves you, I whisper when she finds it. Before she goes, I add one last note in the book I've kept since that key Christmas Eve. They said no room for my girl at table. Now, no room in our lives for mean. We stand indoor, mom and girl shapes against winter sun, stepping ahead together into light.